Okay, so the question has been asked about chaining, like how to chain things and how to make them work. So let me show you what doesn't work. I'm going to go to remote here, and I'm going to choose eyesight to improve, immune system stimulation, and Kundalini. And I'm going to tell them that I want these to chain. I've picked up these three. And I'm going to call this test chain one. Test chain one. Let's space that one so we'll make sure to see it. I'm going to save it. I'm going to go over to my user folder. I'm going to find that. And there they are. There are the programs. But when I go to control, override a generator, right? And I can see that the eyesight to improve is here, right? That's what's showing up. And I know that they're chained and I want them to go. I have this H factor set at 3000. This is for testing only. You don't use this on a person, but I want this to go very fast so I can test it. Normally I would use the virtual generator to do this, but since I have an open generator, why not? So I'm going to start it. Let's watch what happens. We'll see how that chain's going to work. So it's whizzing through and it's going. It's got the floaters, the retinal detachment. And wait a minute, it went back up to eyesight to improve. It's just cycling within eyesight to improve, right? So let me stop that. And let me go back and check to see that preset. Sure enough, that preset has these items in it, right? Why isn't it working? The reason it's not working is because in programs, each of those things has its repeat sequence to 0. Now, that's the default on this because typically you would just run this and keep running it all day, every day until you had results. Each one of those, however, has that same preset. So what can I do about this to make it work? I'm going to use the chain editor. Now that's this thing right here, right? I'm going to have to use that. But if you haven't already installed it, it needs to be installed. So where do you find it? It's in your C drive, right? It's in your C drive. It's in the Spooky2 folder, right? Let me go back so you can see this. It's in the Spooky2 folder, right? And you just look down here and there's the setup. There are two in here. I never, really got why there are two, but I just use this one. And you double click it and it will install. If it doesn't install and asks you for something else, what you want to do is you want to go to this, and you can search this term, turn Windows features on and off, right? I have already searched that because I wanted to show it to you. And what's going to show up is this. You want to tick this box right here, right? Just tick that box. That'll turn that on, and you may have to, if the chain editor doesn't want to install and is asking for the net framework, then this is the way to get it. You turn Windows features on or off, and you grab that sucker and turn it on, and you say okay. And then you just double click this one, double click this one, and it'll set up. Now I have this already installed, so I'm not going to go through reinstalling it, but you need the chain editor to be installed. So let me click out of this, and I'm going to click. I have this selected, this test chain one that I created, and I'm going to click on the chain editor. Since I've already installed it, it's going to open up, right? Now, I'm going to click on this, eyesight to improve. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. right? It's exactly what it's supposed to be. But when I look at program, I can see that the repeat sequence is set to 0. I'm going to change that to 1. And I go to immune system stimulation. Again, I'm going to set that to 1. Kundalini, again, to 1. Not changing anything, right, other than that. These have been double installed. I don't know why that is. So I'm just going to remove these things. Probably something I did before. I wouldn't worry about it, but I can just get rid of them. I don't need those, right? I just have those 3 things selected. And repeat sequence, I want to make sure that's at 1 for each of these, right? So now it's set at 1. And I'm going to click out of this, and it will ask me, do you want to save? The answer is yes. Yes, I do want to save. Now, I'm going to click on this again, and I'm going to go back to my control, and I'm going to overwrite the same generator. And again, I have it going super fast, and I'm going to start it. Now let's see what happens. It's going through the eyesight to improve. And then it switches to the next thing I'm after, which is the immune system stimulation. And it runs that. And then it's going to switch to the Kundalini. And it'll run that. And there it is. Now it's stopped. And you go, well, why did it stop? The reason is because I have in this the repeat chain set to 1 also. So I'm going to go back to presets. I'm going to use the chain editor. And I'm going to choose a program again and click in this. And repeat chain. Now I want the repeat chain to 0. Right? And that took care of all of them. As soon as I changed 1, it changed them all. So now I'm going to click out. The answer is yes. I'm going to choose it again. I'm going to go back to the control panel. I'm going to overwrite. I'm going to choose that. And again, going super fast, I'm going to start it. Now let's watch what happens. Now the chain will run indefinitely. It'll just keep running. So I'm going to end up back at eyesight to improve after the other 2 have completed. So running the immune system, that's taken care of. The Kundalini, and then it will loop back to the top again to eyesight. I love it when my predictions prove out to be true. Okay, so that's how you set up a chain to run indefinitely, right? And you just let it run and it would do its thing endlessly. All right, there you go. I hope this is helpful to you.